Reamer, Technical Service Manager with FMC here in Nebraska and Colorado. Today, I'm out here in York, Nebraska, and I wanted to take a minute to talk about how to protect our soybean crop as we get into July and August timeframe here in Nebraska. Specifically, want to focus on a couple different pests, but also talk about maybe what a fungicide looks like with an insecticide this time of year. So come with me as I show you what we're seeing out here and some recommendations that we have here at FMC. I want to take a closer look here about what feeding we're seeing here in the field. We talk about defoliation in soybean canopy, and that generally is what we use as our threshold for treatment. We have a lot of defoliation out here in the soybean fields, predominantly coming from Japanese beetles. And we talk about Japanese beetle recommendation here at FMC. We have two products that are going to be really effective. That's going to be Hero at 5 fluid ounces or Elevist at 7 fluid ounces. But when do we trigger that treatment? We talk about defoliation. Somewhere when we get around that 20% defoliation, that's when we need to start thinking about triggering a treatment and taking care of Japanese beetles in our soybean fields. So I want to cover one more pest here to talk about today, and that's going to be Dectes stem borer. This is a much more difficult pest to scout for than Japanese beetle. That's because they're not doing as much defoliation in the upper canopy. The adults are laying eggs near the leaf petiole, and those eggs are turning into larvae, which will then in turn burrow into the stem and then cause lodging problems later at harvest. FMC has a couple great options to take care of this problem for growers. The first option is going to be Elevist at 9.6 fluid ounces. Second option will be Hero at 10 fluid ounces or Coragen Evo at 1.7 fluid ounces. All of those are really great options, but we need to make sure that our farmers are applying them at the proper time. Because adults have a really long life cycle and are laying eggs for a majority of the summer, we're going to need 2 applications for this pest. So typically we want to target that first one around 1500 growing degree days, and then we want to come out again with another application at 2 to 3 weeks later. This gives us really good control of the majority of the adults during the summer season when they're doing a great deal of their egg laying. So to prevent that egg lay, we want to target those adults at those 2 application timings, and that'll give our farmers the best shot at preventing these adults from laying eggs and therefore causing lodging at harvest. If we're already making an insecticide pass across the field, whether that be a R1, R2, or R3, we want to make sure we're maximizing the pass across the acre. So we want to make sure that we are utilizing that pass and putting a fungicide in with it. Here at FMC, we recommend 5 ounces of Lucento. This provides really good disease control for most of the diseases that we'll see here in this state, whether that be Cercospora, frog eye leaf spot, anthracnose. Lucento does a really good job giving us broad spectrum disease control. Make sure we're maximizing that pass across the acre with your insecticide and putting 5 ounces of Lucento in the tank.